Thanks. 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 Thanks to hormones. They are threads. I don't know how they work. Thanks. Thanks for binding constraints. Best very much. Thanks. They put my postal address into the shredder. Thanks be to. Thanks for sex. Thanks like forever. 19 years this can stay in here womb. Thanks. Under my mutton breath. Thanks. I want many loves, but this contraption isn't designed for that. Thanks. Thanks, female. I want male threads, and who on occasion can I do them? Thanks. The thing is, I want my tea brought to me in bed. Thanks for that. Funnels and spike and spit. We're just measuring your womb. I forgot to ask what size it is, but thanks. Thanks. We like a 5-minute break whilst the gel goes about numbing. Thanks. Coil, swivel and in the coalfields it is sunny. In it goes. Can I have some more pinch, please? Pinch my hip skin, please. Sister, don't do very much, but she is very reassuring. Thanks. Many thanks, nurse. Many thanks, Dr. Floyd. Feel stampede or cobble, swatch, swab. Thanks. Chatting sorrow, little 31 now. Imagine a famous rosarium. Thanks. I'm not very good at procedures either, Nurse Mason says. Checks my BP for 6th time. Fainting can happen when we fiddle with the cervix. Thanks. Thanks, NHS Wales. Sweet tea, very sweet. Dr. Floyd says she isn't a famous tea maker. Thanks, it's not bad. Thanks, devolution. Can we have some more? Please. Dr. Floyd is a street pastor. She works on Wine Street making coffee for drinkers. Thanks. Dr. Floyd says, or she lets Bach slip out, an endearment. She must be pretty sorry. Thanks. It's a coil for real. Little scraps of uterus come out. Heavens! Thanks ever so. Dr. Floyd gives me a lift home and lie down in a minute. The bramble beds, thanks. The sea wants me today, thanks. But it can't have me, thanks. Thanks though, thanks for everything, thanks. That was a poem for an IUD. And this is, these are some poems from the long words. The pamphlet is called Czechoslovakia la lista Roma declaram dan or long words. And Czechoslovakia la lista Roma dan means, are you one of those we tried to make to be originating from Czechoslovakia? Turkish. And it's the inspiration for all of these long word poems. All the titles are the translations of long words in different languages. So this is a Hungarian word, and it apparently means for your continued behaviour as if you could not be desecrated. The never tired, the owl and the auger, leather pressed through until the light showed, and continued behaviour that tastes like lighter fluids. As if you were not overly sleepless, as if not fortunate and symbolic, as if you could not be desecrated like all of us others. Sacreds trumping for proper money, able to read what the signs tell us indeed what the penury should be like. We don't have a lens through which to view our behaviour as others see it. We just have to imagine. And then the good King Wenceslas looked out, and I dreamt that man flirted with me all night till he fell over drunk, and I slunk away, skittered in a pool of surplus Shiraz, burnt in a wicker basket set up for such things. I had another hand in my pockets. Now I have frequent ball aches without the balls to speak of, and such a lot of dripping drool over tooth and gum. Gutted I can't be with you tonight, darling, for your all and your auger and your continued behaviours. Dear God, look upon me kindly with your unknowable, unsubstantial, unverifiable looks and your hot sauce. Bring this desecration back to life. So this is a Georgian word, and it means also for those who have turned like counter-revolutionaries. Also for those best pleased with a moniker, a halo uncertain. Also in the grave taste of salsified, a chip off the old collectivised. Splitters gurning on white cream. Each one wrote a poem entitled Dad. Carry on, childish, a primer, claddings, etc. You err on the air. Scale of 1 to 10, scale of nil and wonder. Don't wonder. And so halfway through this series, paleontologists come in. I'm not very kind to them, which isn't a reflection on how I actually feel about paleontologists. My father is actually a paleontologist. This is an Esperanto word. It means about to become the leader of a contemptible paleontology conservatory. They rob you sideways at the bus stop after the classic car convention. Yours was always a contemptible rise to fame, and they always had their edifice of cotton, fossils, like the fossils inside their bodies, and there are paleontologists who don't like to reveal themselves in conversation, who spat upon you, you pretender to this invented order. All their trading's off. Is the eel's heart needle-shaped? They put their fists in rock cavities, hunch over mineral dishes, snap each other's jaws shut with metronome clicks, have wasted years of mineral wealth, about to become a revolution, about to dress sensibly for warfare. If we were in North Korea, we would have been executed by now. So, this is a Slovak long word, and it's one of the only ones in the series which actually mirrors the actual really boring long words, which are proteins and genomes and scientific things. And this was the only one that found its way in. And in Slovak, it looks really long, but in English it's just most anti-crystallizing. Its source mostly forgotten, tiny hexagonal formations, minerals. Of course, the paleontologists know nothing of real rocks. They smoke batteries, they are so stupid. They don't even know all the geology jokes, or what the fossils inside them are really saying. Things like, give me ketamine, give me methamphetamine, and Malbec, because they like a good grape. There are only one or two ways to stop a paleontologist from speaking his or her mind, remind them of their uselessness, and of the fluids that we can use to dissipate crystals. I woke in the night resenting paleontologists even more than normal. Woke up wishing for rocks, and also fossils, which are my enemy, always have been, especially the fossils inside. Wasn't there some way I could stop the bad crystals from forming in the first place? Wasn't there some magic word? Or was it better to let it happen, or at least bring forth the inevitable breakdown so that that cleansing fire and all that tosh and twaddle could rinse me out from the inside, shift the dirty fossil once and for all? So, the last poem in the long word series, are you one of those are you one of those people whom we couldn't make speak originating from Czechoslovakia? Inspiration. I couldn't make it go away, and then the collective farms emptied, and then the malnutrition chickens wandering into festive heaps. Devilish uncertainty. I caught a whiff of some kind of origin, and I couldn't wear that origin for myself. We tried repeatedly to make you all come from somewhere, to make myself come from somewhere. Now I realise I come from the internet. And that's the true nature of all origins anyway. We tried very hard and we stood there in a kind of brown, scandalised waving. The burning issue was there, and we tried to douse it down with inflammable liquid. It is true that some beers are made in a microwave to taste vaguely of nuclear winters. The rest is all anecdotes. When bad things happened in the 80s, we always had someone to blame. Fashion, Thatcher, Gorgons. I stood at the keyhole trying to scream the house down. Why are you wearing my brown jacket? And why are you lying about wearing my brown jacket? Why is it so cold in this collectivised future? So, it's a poem called 18. Remembered suddenly my nos waith dda attire, my trying taxonomies of sing-song, my motionless courage and/or my empathy courage, and that I tried to strike a note of clasp breast horror slasher max out body resurrection. At least tried my best then. I can't but pity exonymic countries or cobbled together lucky folk. Steamy flashes and Celtic music makes me tired. I can try and declare myself friendly, but I am terrible and to be noted. Wind-slapped, aching pussy, not sure what to want in the apples the seeds burned. Stood in the coachyard, teleologic. Had a personal Jesus on a pin. That was something passable as sex, at least. I suppose technicalities make this regrettable. I have a synthetic lemon feeling about it, the way murderers like it, clean. Maudlin is not the same as macabre. Do whatever you like, he says, and I, sandalwood, dream of the threaded lip, the pursuit of needlework, bicarbonate of soda, citric, hurt me now, hold me now. I shouldn't have to explain. Look at my flaws all around my life like chicken pox. Wondered whether I'd die like this with a cock in my mouth. That's a flashback. That's why everything has a trigger warning now. That's when the idea of full throttle becomes hundreds of droplets. Panic. We weren't sure if that went well or not. None of us were sure whether that went well. When I was 18, oh God. Right. Psychoanalysis. Now, this is the second to last one. The ghost of best foot forward. The ghost of terribly louche. It went down and it did not touch the sides. It was poorly and sentimental, as in speaking to the ceiling, as in duplicitous conversation, whereby one person tests another without consent, whereby a personality presents without a filter on. It's a challenge to get the alter ego into a Macintosh. It's a challenge, and the presenter says, don't give up, and that's entertainment. Roads wet, and they look like rivers from the bridge. Lightweight, like me. One of the herd had a bad purpose, like me, so we sat about it like custard round crumble. We looked at the ceiling and said the lightning is swell. I don't do too badly, especially when I unpeg myself a notch. I don't do too badly, especially when I step out lantern-wise. And now the ghost of undervalued people, and now the ghost of their feelings. So the last one I'll do is a poem for the composer Victor Ullmann, who was a pretty obscure composer. This was written for the Caconia project, but he died in Auschwitz, but he came back to life briefly through the medium of the spiritualist Rosemary Brown, who was well known in the 1970s for her conversations with dead composers, and she made many alterations, posthumous alterations, several works of many famous composers, and she even composed some new pieces on the grave, which apparently were not quite as good as the real thing, obviously. But apparently she'd never had any classical musical training before. She was, just completely, just all came from these guys. So this is the Museum of Victor Ullmann. So Victor Ullmann was consulted in 1974 for the first performance of one of his operas. All the panna cotta and ribbons, why be so angry? He says our hands are busted Ferris wheel and I am ventriloquising him. That's an accusation. I do tally-side professional bitching. But you can pet me while my pelt is warm. Got myself a grilling on the internet while Nathalia Romanenko did his number 25. Keep going, keep going. My Morris Minor ankles do nothing for me in desert boots, too chill, and I feel pretty futile. He even made posthumous tweaks. It's 1975 and he's invited back, makes harpsichord. It's as if he was alive all along, only hiding in the furthest chamber. Blamage was on my mind to bother and stuff me from any painful thought or stench death camp. Mediate all day and no one thanks me for it. He made love all day and no one thanks him for it. Knew the chats of Chopin were for nothing. He made swallowed sleigh bell warm. Nathalia gazing, curtsying. We are too broken to make this work. I should shout, don't be pessimistic. Don't indulge in the present. I keep ice cream for miracle usage. I internalize, oh, just be happy and move on.